Welcome to UniqueCreatives ChCh. 48 projects, 20 minutes, 6 questions, 1 city. A special interview series documenting the range and quality of creative projects taking place in post-quake Christchurch.
Okay, Friday the 20th of February, interview with Christine Jackson, coordinator of Creative Junk. What is it about and what happens here?
Creative Junk is here at 25 Disraeli Street. We trade a non-profit organisation.
Your charitable trust?
We're a charitable trust.
Yeah.
We trade, we're the Early Childhood Resource Centre, but we trade as Creative Junk.
Okay.
And basically we recycle. We, not everything, not like household goods, it's a lot of craft stuff. And we would get stuff here, put it apart, and it's a big warehouse where the stuff we put apart, what comes in, goes into big barrels, and we get the stuff from factories. They go out to factories and collect it, bring it back instead of it going to the landfill. People bring stuff in here. We have like a wish list, which is on our website. We have a Facebook, which has ideas and up and coming things, which brings us to, like, we have workshops.
Okay.
We've been 30 years in the community.
Wow.
30 years, yeah. Started off in just a little prefab with a group of parents wanting something cheaper for like preschools, kindy age, was a cheaper way of getting them for active creative play.
Oh, nice. I'd imagine for industry and the community it's cheaper to donate than to
dispose. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we have some places where they have like a barrel where they'll just put their stuff into it and we'll go around, collect it up. And we have one-offs. We have regular pickups around the neighbourhood or around lots of different areas.
So there's good buy-in from industry in terms of recycling?
Yeah, sometimes it takes a bit to actually get them onto it.
Oh, right.
It's quite funny, but when they do, it's like quite cool. And a good thing to do there is usually we show them something that we've made from their product, something that they've donated, and they love to see what we've actually done with it. It's like it actually triggers it a lot easier for them to understand what we're doing with it and why we're doing.
Oh, that's great.
Because otherwise they just sort of look at what are you doing with this, and people don't always see things out of
That's
things.
a good point. An offcut's an offcut.
Yeah, to them it is just rubbish and they can't see anything past that. So if we make something and take it into them, show them,
then they understand.
They have a bit more understanding of it.
And hopefully
support it a lot better that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
More goodies.
Definitely.
So you are the coordinator here.
Yes.
And so what does that role entail? You know, what do you do?
We have a workshop here, like at the factory, which we have. You can fill your bags up. If you're a member, it's $5. If you're not, it's $8. Families, which is $15 for a year, and a group's $50. And a group is like anybody under the umbrella of, like, say, church groups, Oscar programs. And so they come in. So
early childhood centres.
All the Kids First ones support it, and they're in it.
So if an organisation is paid a $50 membership, then maybe a group of teachers could come in from that organisation.
An organisation is actually a different fee. It's $100.
Ah.
Yeah, so there's actually 3 different sections.
3 tiers.
Yeah, so $15 for families and individual, $50 for a group, and $100 for like an organisation. Right. Organisation being like, say, there's a preschool, like say ABC have got lots of different preschools.
Oh, right, across the country.
Yeah. And there's some churches that have got a couple of different branches.
All right.
So they'll come as an organisation, and then
and it's well supported.
Yeah. But my role as a coordinator is so that is like in the shop sort of base. There's computer work. It's divided 4 ways. We've got the computers, we've got the workshops and the shops here, and the pickup. The workshops are like in the community and at schools. And holiday, we do a lot of, in the holiday times, we do a lot of workshops. We're in the Children's Day. We go to the Children's Day, we're in Santa Parade.
Oh, right.
Do lots of stuff like in the community, different things in that way.
So parents, caregivers bring their children and they can book them in for workshops through the school holidays.
Yes.
What type of workshops would you run?
Through the Kids Fest, we're involved with the Kids Fest, which is comes out in like a booklet through the City Council. we've done wearable arts that's gone off really well. We've made clocks, we've robots, we've done pencil holders. A lot of times if I've got a lot of something, I try and create something from that, and that kind of gives me the idea of what I'm doing for a workshop.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And you take your workshops out into the community, sometimes into the schools?
Yes, a lot of time, yes, because here we've got a room down the back, but it can only really be comfortably between 12 to 15 sort of children. So the school ones are a lot more children, so yes, we'll go out there. And we have a van, which we got funded for, which we rely a lot on our funders to get things like that, and it's always brilliant.
Good.
So yes, we're able to get a van, which has enabled us to do that into the community with the workshops and go to the schools and that sort of stuff. We do have volunteers, which is a really a lot. We do rely on volunteers, lovely volunteers, in which sometimes we recruit them through Volunteer Canterbury. Other times we've had people just pop in here and show an interest.
Nice.
And
so if someone was interested in volunteering for Creative Junk, they could either go through Volunteer Canterbury or they could come to the factory here.
That's correct, yeah. Just pop in and see. And sometimes, which is a better thing to do, to pop in here, because sometimes people can't picture really what it's like until you're here and you sort of see, and it's kind of a bit overwhelming.
Yes.
But it's we've got a nice sort of group there, but it's always good to have more people.
Great. I'd imagine you'd get some art students and creative people coming in looking for resources for their projects.
Yes, yeah. DNA, design and art.
Oh, right, nice.
Come in. We have, it's such a variety of people actually. We've got a lot of church groups come through. We have even TV programs coming through that they do different themes, and so they'll come in and get hold of stuff to make props and stuff like that. Which brings us to we have hire stuff. We have the big bulk. You have to be a member to be able to hire, but we do have props which are able to be hired, or early childhood play. Creative sort of play like parachutes, little stepping, teaching about to step on steps, a lot of big foam, bright coloured foaming, sort of just rolling poly sort of stuff.
Great. So Christine, what is it about your role here as the coordinator of Creative Junk? What is it about the role that inspires you?
The creative side, I just absolutely love actually seeing children creating, especially today with the instant computer world and everything in that. So they don't really have the experience of having hands on, and I just love seeing once they have, you just see them accomplish something and pretty much they grow with it. It's just,
when you have a group of children and they're they're about to start an activity, do some children, I imagine some children are just duck to water, they're hands on straight in. Do others sometimes take a while to warm up and need a little bit of encouragement to, get in there with this, technological age where they're used to just hitting buttons and it all happens?
Yeah, it does. It happens. More so when I go out to the Oscar programs or things like that where the children are in the Oscar programs because, they're in care. So they're not coming when they come here, they want to come here, and in the workshops here, it's a different sort of atmosphere. But sometimes when you go to the Oscar programs or school programs, it's there because they're having to do it because they've been told to. So yes, we do get that, and it's really funny though. I've had a few occasions there. I've had some of the kids that I've worked with, and they've come up to me afterwards and said, I didn't want to be here, but I really enjoyed it. And it's those kids I think, yes. It's such an accomplishment.
They were inspired, and they got involved, and they engaged with what they were doing.
Yeah. And I love it. You hear, I did one out in Build over there at the school, and it was a wearable art one. And I remember the little girl, I know my friend, she's got her shop down in Build there. And she had, after school, this little girl came in with her mum, and her mum had said to the wee girl, had said to her about coming in and getting some material from the alteration shop. And she walked in and she said to Karen, that she'd been just doing a wearable art thing, and she wants to go home and do some bits and pieces. But because I didn't realise that the person knew me, and Karen sort of said to me afterwards that had happened, and I thought, yes, it's so cool to hear that you've actually triggered something.
Great.
And it's going to carry on.
Yeah.
If you can do like 20 kids, but if you've got one that you've sort of like inspired, that's really
Inspiring
cool.
that creative process and planting those creative seeds. Absolutely. So your vision, the vision for Creative Junk, what's next? What's in the future?
At the moment, I've had a lot of, well, not a lot, but I've had a few adults come through and really actually wanting a space where they can just come with other adults, and I really want to actually work on that and just get that going. I'm not sure what it means, but I just think really it's just having a space in the back room where we can make a day that we just come together and make nothing really particular, but just do it.
I best add that I'm actually one of those adults.
That's cool. We've got a few, yeah. So I think that's going to be a big thing. And I guess it is just more about getting in the community, just getting Creative Junk and just like mixing and just continue to see those kids be inspired.
Yes. More community involvement? Like, taking your van and your workshops out into the community more?
And working with actually other art, like other groups.
Okay.
I think I like the fact that you can come together and bounce off other people.
Mm-hmm. So that collaboration.
It's kind of like
working together.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's a good. It has to be good. Like recently with doing the Sydenham down in Sydney, they're doing the robot parade and things like that. It was just good to be able to have other people around.
So what happened at the robot parade?
We had a couple of Sundays where we did workshops at the Exchange, and you were able to go there, make a robot, and then on the Thursday, it was called First Thursday, and they had a parade up Colombo Street there into the Colombo and came back through, and we had such positive feedback. The weather was a bit yucky, but it was good though. It was okay.
I recall the evening. It was windy.
Yes, it was.
And I saw the parade, and it was brilliant. I especially remember seeing a whole family who'd obviously engaged in the workshops, right down to their baby that looked under a year old, and she had her little
hat on.
Yes, her little silver hat with her antennas flying around, and it was great. Obviously, everyone had been encouraged and supported to engage in the workshops. It was great.
That is a big part. I've been with Creative Junk now for nearly 9 years, coming up 9 years, and when we do those like Children's Day and things like that, I do love that part. That seeing, I have had the comment a few times now where the parents have been sitting with the children, and sometimes you actually see the parents are having just as, if not more fun than the children, and like they have said, the comments usually generate as like, I wouldn't be doing this with my children if I was at home.
Yeah.
And they will sit there for like a good hour, if not more sometimes.
So the children have run off and they're still sitting there.
Over it, and it's like the parents are still sitting there, and it's like, we've got photos of like, parents. Because I think sometimes as an adult you forget that child, and you forgot that, you lose that child's memories of being able to do that. So
well, it's busy lives, isn't it? And remembering to take the time to engage with creative. And a lot of people will say, but I'm not arty, I'm not creative, I'm not this, I'm not that. But you put some sticks and stones and glue and paint, and the magic happens.
Let us start.
Yeah, definitely. So what is your earliest memory, Christine? What is your earliest memory of being engaged or being excited by a creative process?
Sitting with my mum, crocheting and knitting, making clothes for my dogs, my dolls, my Barbies, and creative, making a shop, playing shop with my brothers.
Yes.
We're always raiding the cupboards for empty boxes or making empty boxes, tipping the stuff out and making it so we could make a shop.
So you were a coordinator way back then?
I was. I was the shopkeeper, and my brothers were the ones that had to buy the stuff because I was directing them.
So lots of creative play.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and with my dad being in the garage, he's always hands-on making stuff. He'd always come up with some idea of something. He'd never you could always put something to him and he'd come up with it, and I guess it just followed through really.
Yeah.
I was always told that I was capable enough to do didn't need anybody to help it, so it's just followed through.
Nice. So what do you think the arts and creativity are bringing to Christchurch at the moment? What's your view?
Being in Christchurch with the earthquake and stuff, I know people are sort of getting over that, but I guess it has brought people together and actually showing different ways of that you can create and what you can make from things. Filling that empty space has been a big growth. I just think it's like really the things that have happened in those empty spaces, which really come down to like gap fill and that, it wouldn't have happened if there was buildings there, really.
So there, it's fair to say that the creative initiatives have popped up and sprung up all over Christchurch.
It does, yeah, all over really.
And I find that inspiring, and
yes.
It makes the city very vibrant place. And I think it's fair to say too that you're more inclined to engage with the city.
Yes.
When there are a number of creative projects and activities on offer.
And I think even if it wasn't in the way of being creative with actually arts, I think people became more creative in the way they thought of survival, which was a kind of interesting to see. Like, even just sounds funny, but even down to like how you had to go to the toilet. Really, when you think about like people, like they actually became quite creative in the toilet making.
I remember the competition or exhibition on the net about who had the jazziest.
Exactly. So how far was that? That has to be like that would not have happened.
No.
So really, it's something silly, but like a lot of fun at the same time.
Yeah.
So if I'm out of a bad situation, there had to be. I mean, imagine you could still laugh.
Some creative solutions.
Yeah. And even the cones, look what they've done with the cone.
Yes.
It became a hassle, you think, dodging cones, but they actually did something with them by putting flowers or by making, they even made a giraffe out of one, like, to bring the creative side of things in that, and people have just changed their vision of, like, how things are.
So putting a creative spin and getting in touch with their creative side. Yes, we had tinsel. I remember one Christmas, the portaloos all got decorated.
And the cones and all that. So, so really, that sort of side of things, when you think of it, there has to be something positive and good out of it.
For sure. So it brings us to the last question, and it's an interesting one. Who would you like to interview in the city, and what would you ask them?
I've actually said my dad, but I would like to bring my Uncle Pete. My Uncle Pete has passed away. But before he passed away, there was a lot he said that he would change, and I would love to know what he would change. Yeah, he said, because I used to message him when he was going to pass, and when he was sitting there, he said there was a lot he wouldn't have done if he had have known what he knew when he was because his life was taken too short, but it was through his silliness that the result of cancer and things like that. So it'd be lovely to see him, and especially see, because he passed just before the earthquake, so he hasn't seen anything of the change. And then both him and Dad to sit there, in the square in the town, to see the changes. It'd be interesting to see the conversation between them.
So go downtown, have a coffee. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, just
nice.
That's
great.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Christine. And I'm about to go downstairs. We're sitting upstairs looking down at this array of resources and creative junk, and I'm going to go have a play. Okay, thank you.
Okay, lovely. Good talking to you.
Proudly supported by the Christchurch Creative Communities Scheme NZ and Orange Studios.